but this year I was like, I need to reflect. Look where I've been. See where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like you tend to keep your relationships more surface level? Because I definitely feel like I do.
I've never actually thought about that.
When I first met you, I was like, this bitch is crazy.
I'm hot. I got a juicy booty.
I got a personality.
I'm on top of that pyramid, baby.
I definitely fake the confidence too.
Why?
Just a little bit. You gotta fake it till you make it.
Yeah. I pretend like I'm like super smart and like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Welcome back to the Heart to Heart podcast. I have my friend Jordyn here with me.
Hi.
If you are new here, I'm Addie. I'm your host, and my lovely friend Jordyn is joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you in the pod. Isn't there just something about, like, I was setting up all the stuff for the podcast, and I'm like, this is a full ass movie production film.
We're breaking the lights out.
It's a film.
We're doing the things.
and every single time I sit down, I've only filmed 2 before this, okay? But every single time I sit down to film an episode, I'm like, as soon as I like get the camera on me and the light on and everything's like going, I'm like, I'm so nervous.
Yeah. Your brain's like,
hello? I forgot everything I was gonna say.
Yes. Yes.
We have our poppies. Do we need to cheers again? We do.
Yeah, we do.
Poppy, if you're listening, you can sponsor if you'd love.
We love you.
I'm drinking strawberry lemon.
I got a raspberry rosé.
What's your favorite flavor? Is it the raspberry?
I think it's this one. I think it's
It's
raspberry.
pretty good, but it's not my favorite. I feel like
which one's yours?
I really love the ginger lime one.
Oh, I haven't had that one yet.
It's so good. It tastes like a Moscow Mule.
Oh.
Did you just fart?
No, did you?
No, it sounded like you did, though.
No. Trust me, baby, you would know.
It sounded like a little...
Might have been my foot
Might
on
have
the
been the
couch.
dog. I don't know.
We'll blame it on the pooch. Might have been my foot on the couch cushion. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, so we're chilling, drinking our poppies. If you're just listening, if you're not watching, and we're here to just chat. Listen, we had a night, okay?
Oh, we did.
The babies were crying. The toddlers were toddlering.
He was jumping on my body, barking in my ear.
I'm still decompressing.
That was a lot.
From what just happened.
That was a lot. A lot of feelings.
A
lot of emotion.
A lot of feelings, especially coming from me. Let me tell you.
Yeah. There was a lot happening.
So as we go into this new year, do you take, because this year was the first year that I did this, do you reflect on the last year and then set like your goals and stuff for the next year?
Yeah. I'll kind of look over like maybe what my goals were for the previous year. Did I achieve them a little? Did I forget about some? And then just kind of think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just think about...
Because some people aren't goal setters.
Yeah.
Do you, like, and I normally don't set goals for myself, but this year I was like, I need to reflect.
Yeah.
Look where I've been. See where I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. In multiple ways, though. Like, physically, mentally.
Oh, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
The whole wheel.
Yeah.
The whole wheel.
The whole thing.
So I found this YouTuber who, if you know anything about me, you know that I just YouTube everything.
Yeah.
I YouTubed like 2025 reset goal setting. I was like
I love that.
into it. And I found this one girl who literally broke it down step by step, how to journal and recap 2024. So you go through the whole journaling process. You write down, you know, she has a bunch of journaling questions that you go through and you just answer and write them in your journal. And it's so reflective. And I did that and I was like, whoa, okay, I know what 2024 was for me.
That's nice.
And I like know where I want to be in 2025. And I feel like I didn't set like I set a couple specific goals, but like for the most part, a lot of it's habits. Like, where do I want to start putting my energy, paying attention to like these things or whatever. But I was just curious because I feel like I never do that. And I was curious, like, if that's like a thing other people, like a lot of people do. Do a lot of people set goals?
I don't know.
Because I did it and I was like, this feels good.
I've set like, I've had the idea in my head, and I've set goals for myself, but I never really tried to achieve them. Like, they were just ideas in my head. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to almost put an actionable plan into place.
Yes.
And like not forget about that, because it's literally like daily. You have to be like checking in daily.
Yes.
This past year, I have I feel like was just learning a lot of like balance, like balancing life and work.
Yeah.
And honestly, the last couple years, I feel like it's been having kids and then just learning how to balance life and them, and then also like my husband and like
the home and like all
everything.
Your things.
Yeah.
So, that makes sense.
But this year, I noticed when I was journaling that I really just want to like step into myself. I want to like go deeper with myself, go deeper with other people, go deeper, like just have deeper connections, have meaningful relationships, just have those like people that are my people in my life.
That really like benefit you and really like feed your soul.
Yes. And fill your cup.
Yes.
And
yes.
Yeah, just build more of a community of people who like think the same way and want the same things and just maybe are in the same stage of life or something. Like, I just need like a better circle.
Yeah.
Not that my circle of friends or whatever is bad.
Right.
But I want to go deeper with all of those connections.
Like stronger. Just make it stronger.
Yeah, not so surface level.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you tend to keep your relationships more surface level? Because I definitely feel like I do.
I've never actually thought about that.
I feel like unintentionally, it's like a subconscious thing that I do of just like, or maybe that's a society thing.
Maybe.
Like, we all just don't have deep conversations anymore.
Yeah, it could just be like a society thing that we're all just like
what do we talk about? We talk about the weather. We talk about things that we might have in common. Stuff. It's not like, what do you deeply enjoy to do
or
on a daily basis, or what really makes you happy,
like
or
getting to know each other on like a deeper level, like childhood trauma. Why did you move 10 times in your life before you were in high school? Like real things. Getting to know that person on a real level. Like knowing that. Just like knowing more specific things, like the story of how like your childhood dog died, and you know what I mean, just like stuff.
Yeah, like because all of those things make up somebody,
you as a person. Yeah, definitely.
They don't necessarily define you, but they do. They make you understand somebody a lot better than those surface level things.
Going to get breakfast, and
I like to shop here.
Yeah, like silly stuff.
The small
silly
things,
stuff, but the small stuff.
So yeah, I feel like 2025 is all about that for me.
I like that.
Which is also why I've wanted to start the podcast, because I feel like you're like forced to sit down and have a conversation. And like, I want to have a lot of these conversations be about things we can all relate on,
Yeah.
And so anyway, I also feel like the topic that like we're going to be talking about today also kind of has to do with like stepping into yourself and kind of being a little bit more confident in life in general. And so when I first met you, I told you this the other day, didn't I?
I don't know.
When we were roughly talking about the podcast.
Oh, I think so. And you brought up your list.
my list. I brought up like some ideas that we could talk about on the podcast, and one of them was showing up authentically as you, as yourself, confidently. And I feel like when I first met you, I was like, this bitch is crazy. In the best way. In the best way. I was like, she's fucking nuts, and I love her.
Yeah.
I love her.
I love that.
And just like your energy of being able to like literally come into a room, and I just truly felt like you didn't give a shit. Like you were
I don't. Like in the best way
gonna,
possible.
No, yeah.
Like I'm just gonna have fun.
You were going to act however you wanted to act. You were gonna be yourself, and that was that. And like if I didn't like you, that was that.
Right.
But obviously I do love you.
Right. I hope so. It's been like 5 years.
I do love you. But I just like, I remember that was like my first impression of you. It was like, this girl doesn't give a shit. She's going to be weird as fuck like the first minute you meet her.
Yeah.
Until the end of her days. Mm-hmm. And
it's the only way to do it.
I just love that. Yeah. I love that because I feel like I am quirky and weird and like I say
silly.
Yes, yeah, silly,
funny.
Just whatever. And sometimes I don't show that right away, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I like
a little quiet, a little reserved.
Serious. Yeah.
Yeah. Took a few times before we were like being real silly and like, you know what I mean?
But I feel like it didn't take long.
It didn't. Maybe like 2 or 3 hangs.
Yeah.
Max. Like that's it. And then we were making TikToks in the spare room.
We had accents.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we hit it off pretty quick.
We did. Yeah.
But that was my first impression of you, and I was like, I definitely like loved you from the first second that I met you. I was like, I love her. There's just something special about her.
I was scared. I was like, oh my God, Cameron, I'm meeting your friends for the first time. I'm scared.
So for those of you who may not know like how we know each other, her boyfriend is really good friends with my husband, and also I am good friends with him. We went to high school together. And that's just kind of like how, and then so they started dating. Obviously, Jordyn started coming around, and we became really good friends.
Yeah.
It was history.
Yeah.
We might as well get rid of the boys and just move in together.
Just live here with the babies and do away with the men.
So do you feel like that's accurate, like about yourself?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you stand with that.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's something you've always, like, were you born just like knowing how to just authentically be yourself, or like how did that come about?
I have no idea. I don't know. I feel like growing up I was a little more shy, a little more reserved, like quiet. I didn't really have a lot of friends growing up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that stems from the moving around, but
I was gonna say, so like give a little bit of backstory on like on
the moving around a lot. So my dad was in the Navy for 20 years. Mm-hmm. I was born. He took a break. My parents had my sister, Justine, and my dad went back in. So when she was a little over a year, maybe, we moved from here to Virginia. We were there for 4.5 years. So I was only there for like kindergarten, maybe preschool and kindergarten. And we went from there. We were in Iceland for 2 years.
Love that for you.
It was so pretty. We have to go. It was so pretty. I don't really remember much about that. I remember a little bit, but not really that much. And then from there on, we went to Rhode Island for a year. So each time we moved, I was only ever there for a year or two at a time. Mm-hmm. You can't really make much out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're 7, 8, 9 years old, and
yeah. I was gonna say, and you're young.
You're little, like, there's not really much for that young of a child to do anyway. Right. So, you don't really make that many connections. And then, so from there on, we went to Florida. We were there for 2 more years. And then the summer before 7th grade, we came back here. We moved in with my grandparents. So in middle school, you gain your cliques and your groups and your teams and your this and your that in middle school in the beginning in like 6th grade, right? Mm-hmm. So by the time I got here, everybody was already with their group, their friend group, their this, their that. And I was just kind of like, I kind of floated. Like I was friends with these girls because I was in art with them, but then I would like sat with these kids at the lunch table.
Wait, I was like that too.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Just kind of like
I feel like I had multiple friend groups.
Yes.
And there was like very, I don't want to say super cliquey, but like there was definitely like groups of people.
Yes.
And I just feel like I kind of floated between all of them.
Which is kind of nice.
It's
I didn't
interesting.
really mind it. Yeah, it was
interesting.
Really, I don't know.
I feel like I kind of got along with everybody.
Yeah.
But I almost wasn't like super close to like one or
it was
the
almost
other.
like enough for you to like vibe with these people and like be like polite and just like exchange conversation, but not so much to be like actually in the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to like,
I mean, I definitely had like a few friends that I was like close with. But
yeah, but for the majority, kind of just like here and there, like.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So
sorry, keep going.
That's okay.
I interrupted you.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, so by the time I got here, cliques were already made. Friend groups were what they were. And I kind of bounced around, but I wasn't really outgoing until high school. I guess like I became like a cheerleader, which gives you some confidence. Like you have like, you know what I mean? That kind of a, but
so like in high school, you kind of
blossomed.
Oh,
I guess.
Oh,
is the word you could use. She blossomed.
In high school. Yeah, I feel like. And do you like? Was there anything that like happened specifically that you were like, you know what? I just don't give a shit what people think about me anymore.
Well, I don't know. I think just having the confidence from that, I was like, I'm hot and I know it. You know what I mean? And I don't care. I'm hot. I got a juicy booty.
I got a personality.
I'm on top of that pyramid, baby. Throw Miss Jordyn up in the air.
The cheerleading.
Honestly, that's really what it was. Like, you know what I don't know if that makes any sense, but I don't know. It
just kind of like
just kind of gave me some confidence. I grew into myself. I developed. I had a boyfriend. Like, you know, I just kind of became that. And clearly
it was always in you,
right,
to begin with, but it just kind of came to the surface
to come out and to really.
I just wondered, you know? I'm like, did she just always not give a shit? Or like, because that's like, I aspire to just walk into a room and just like authentically show up. Yeah. And not give a shit and just be weird. Like, I just want to be weird in front of people.
Do it. Why not?
You know?
Yeah. Do it. Why not? What do you mean? You're like that with me?
No, I know, but it like takes a couple, you know, it takes a couple times. And
I mean, I guess it really depends on the setting.
Yeah.
You know, true. Like what's going on. Like, if there's people I already know, you know, you can kind of go in like that, but not so strong. If it's in group
just a little weird. We're gonna show them just a little.
We'll crack some jokes and we'll just
just see how they land.
Yes, and then if it's a vibe, we'll go from there. If not, we'll kind of taper.
I love when other people are weird first, because then I'm like,
I can be weird now.
I can like release my weirdness. Yes. We can like vibe.
Yeah, I feel like
let's be weird together.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and it works and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But I always like, I'm just so jealous when people can just show up authentically as their self, because I don't know why it just doesn't come like super natural to me.
Yeah.
But
are you just you're quiet for a while?
I think I like to read the room a lot.
Feel it out, feel the people out.
Oh yeah. And I think I'm truly just trying to read somebody before I like, maybe it's
share yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't know if it's just being afraid of being judged or what it is, but I think that's probably a reason why a lot of people don't show up authentically. And that's such a weird thing to think about.
Yeah.
Like, why do we care so much what people think?
Yeah.
Because, like, you don't even like everybody.
Right.
So how can you expect everyone to like you? It's almost like you want everybody to like you, but you don't even like everybody else. So it's like,
yeah. Why
do you care so much if somebody doesn't like you?
Right. Because if they don't, then you don't ever have to see them again. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter.
It's so funny because that is so deep rooted, though, into society. if you think about even just like you texting me before you come here and be like, what are we wearing for the pod? You know, feeling it out because you don't want to look different than me. You kind of want to fit in.
I want to know what the vibes are. Are we comfy? Are we cutesy? Are we...
What are we doing?
Right.
We want to look uniform. But it's just so weird how we all want to conform and just blend in and be the same. And
like, just like be acceptable to society.
I feel like it also has to do with if you truly don't love every single part of yourself, then it may be hard to show up authentically as yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to like show the parts of you that you don't love.
Yeah. That makes sense. Although, I don't know. I don't really love all of myself. So I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't really love all of myself, but I just am the way I am. I think I just use like humor as a way to like cover that up. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm funny and I know it. And I use that to like shield. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I mean, people definitely do that a lot too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's like very common.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, it would be easier to show up authentically if I was like, okay, you know what? I'm weird and I don't give a shit. And I don't give a shit if people like me or they don't. Because I love that I'm weird about myself.
Yeah.
And you don't have to love it because I love it.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter.
I definitely fake the confidence too.
Why?
Just a little bit to get like
through it?
Yeah,
to get
like
past it?
you gotta fake it till you make it.
Yeah. I pretend like I'm like super smart and like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Sometimes you have
to fake it. You do
just to get
past that, through whatever we're talking about.
I feel like once you fake it, you're like, okay, I can actually do this.
We don't have to act anymore. We can do it.
Yeah, like we got this.
Yes.
But like for the first couple minutes, sometimes you just have to like beef up.
Yes.
And like, even if you're like a little shit in your pants, a little nervous,
you just have to like put your big girl panties on and just
put them,
you know,
big girl
pull them drawers
on.
up and get, you know,
get to getting.
Yep. What?
I just love all of your sayings. No. And also, I genuinely thought about, should we just do this whole podcast episode in an accent?
We should.
We should. It would be so much fun.
Yeah, it would.
Anything with an accent is just better.
It's so much funnier.
It is.
It's so much more fun.
It is. I feel like if I did more shadow work and more like just like a deep dive of like, okay, what are the things that I just don't love about myself? If I did a deep dive into that and I like actually started loving those parts of myself, I feel like I would be able to more authentically show up just day to day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But how do you dig deep and learn to love those parts is the question. You know what I mean? I can't just be like, oh my God, I actually really love my legs. Nah. You know what I mean? Like, how do you really
I know,
trick yourself and teach yourself how to authentically love those parts of you that you don't really love without lying to yourself? You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of it is just one, recognizing what those are first.
Yeah.
Because some of those subconsciously we don't even know what those are. So that might look like shadow work to some people. That might look like, oh, I just got triggered by something. Why did I get triggered by that?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So I feel like anytime I get triggered, I try to, that's usually a telltale sign of like, okay, there's some trauma there. Like, why am I getting triggered by something that you're doing or something that you said?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That happens a lot. happens to me a lot.
Happens to me a lot, mate.
Oh no, it's no fun.
Yeah, I think like just almost being more aware of like how you talk to yourself too.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. That's definitely.
Oh, I'm really hard on myself.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Oh man,
so hard. Mm-hmm. Without even realizing it, it's actually really sad.
It is sad. I do the same thing and like comparing myself to other people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Not good.
And so that could be something that you pay attention to too. Like when you're comparing yourself to somebody, you know, what are you comparing?
Right.
Are we comparing, is it like physical things? Is it things that we have or don't have? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Me and you are delirious right now.
We're a little bit delulu than babies did a number.
Do they really did?
Luna.
She did. Oh my God.
Oh girl.
She really did. For 30 minutes, she was just...
Twice. 30 minutes twice. With a little eensy-weensy 10-minute break in between.
So I feel like, how do we love these parts of ourselves? So we figure out what it is that we don't like.
Right.
We don't love.
But like...
Okay.
Yeah.
And then... I feel like that also could just be like affirmations. Like, I do love this part of myself. Like,
yeah, this is what God gave me, and this is my body, and this is the only body that I have.
Yeah.
And we should love her for who she is. Finding
ways to appreciate like this. And if we're talking about like physical things,
right,
that's totally something you can say, you know, like I've been given this body and this is what it is. And
she's the only one you're going to get.
And obviously, like, trying to eat healthy, doing the things you have to do and whatever. But if it's things that you can't change, like, I got a small pair of boobs on me.
Right.
If it's something I can't necessarily change without spending tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
You just learn, you got to learn to love those parts of yourself.
Yes.
You know?
And make it as positive. Like for me, like having small boobs, cool, I can wear a cute little tube top without having a bra. You know what I mean? Like the positive side. Yes. I can wear a halter top. I can do this without a bra and it still looks good. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just kind of giving it like a positive twist.
Yeah. Yeah, I do love that. Oh yeah. And an obvious one is practicing some self-care.
Yes. That's a big goal that I have for myself this year.
Well, and that'll help you kind of build more confidence.
You
learn
get your skin looking good. You get a good routine.
Yeah.
You know?
That feels good.
Yeah. Your skin is smooth and soft.
And when you give more time to yourself, that like is very... That's telling yourself that you are important.
Yeah.
You know? Like my body's important. I'm going to go to the gym.
I'm going to nourish her.
Yeah.
And eat healthy things and my protein and my yogurt bowls and my veggies and my drink my water and you know,
all of that
give her that nutrients that she deserves.
All of that tells yourself that you are worth the time, the money,
the energy,
yes, all of it. Mm-hmm. If you say you're going to go to the gym 5 times a week, you should show up and go to the gym 5 times a week. And because it's like, if I made a promise to you, I would hold myself to that.
Right.
So if I'm making a promise to myself, I need to hold myself to that promise that I'm going to do this for myself. Yeah. And the more you do that, the more that builds confidence, because you know that you're worth that time and that energy.
Because like when you promise a person something, you don't want to let that person down, so you're upholding that promise. When it's to yourself, you might be like, whatever, I'll just go tomorrow, not realizing that you're breaking that promise to yourself.
And then over time,
yes,
over time what message does that send to yourself? That tells you like,
you don't care about yourself.
You don't care. You're not that important.
You'll push yourself off.
Yeah, like other people's stuff is more important than you and your needs and wants.
Mm-hmm. And your well-being is important. Just as important as making a promise to somebody else or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Cheers to showing up in 2025.
Yes.
Authentically as yourself. Learn to love the parts of yourself that you may not love. Figure out what those are. Love the parts of yourself that you have to love. And just show up authentically. Okay, give me a Poppy's cheers. We're going to close this out. My baby's not happy.
World.
Cheers. Thank you guys for joining us, and I will see you guys in the next podcast. Bye. And thank you to Jordyn for coming on.
And thank you so much for having me. I had a really good time.
Okay, bye. Bye.